everybody. Welcome to Yoga for Self-Love with Kim. I'm Kim. This will be a short, slow flow Vinyasa practice to open up through the hips, the hamstrings, and the shoulders. You may need a strap for the practice, so grab that. If you don't have a yoga strap, you could use a belt or a sash or bathrobe tie or something like that. And if you don't have anything like that, no big deal. You can work around. You may also want a couple of yoga blocks for our practice today. So gather your things, come join me on the mat, and we will begin our practice on our backs. So find your way down onto your back. Have that strap handy. We'll use it in a little bit. Bring the soles of your feet together and allow your knees to open out to the side. So we'll come into a Supta Baddha Konasana. If it feels a little bit intense on your inner legs and thighs, you can tuck some blocks underneath the knees or thighs to give yourself a little bit of support. Make it a little bit less intense there. We want to find a nice, gentle opening here to begin our practice. So you could take hands to the belly, hands out to the side, one hand to heart, one hand to belly, or you could bend your elbows, lift your arms up into a cactus or goalpost arms to find some opening across the chest. If it feels okay for you, you can close your eyes or find a soft and steady gaze. Allow yourself to arrive. Let go of the rest of your day. Allow yourself to be present right here and right now, taking this time for you, for your yoga practice. And check in and notice how you're feeling. What do you bring to the mat with you today? Letting go of judgment, just becoming curious about what is happening for you right now. How does your body feel? How does your mind feel? How does your energy feel? Allow your body to begin to relax, to get heavy, to drop down into the earth. Feel the weight of your body on your mat. As always, I invite you to bring in the intention to be gentle, kind, patient, loving, and compassionate with yourself as you move through this practice. And if you like to carry this intention off of the mat and out into the world with you. Begin to check in with your breath, just noticing how your breath feels. Begin to find a deep, smooth, steady breath in and out through your nose. And then begin to invite some movement in now. Begin to wiggle your fingers. Yawn, sigh, wiggle, stretch. Slowly begin to lift the knees up. Bring the knees together. And then slowly step your feet out to the outer edges of your mat as the knees knock in towards each other. And then lift up the knees, so feet are still wide, the outer edges of your mat, knees pointing up. And now let's drop both knees over towards the right side. And then slowly begin to wave the knees through center and over towards the left side. And now a few times as you wave your knees side to side. And then bring your knees back up. Walk your feet in about hip width. Grab your strap. And we'll take the strap around the ball of the right foot. Send that right leg up. Pressing that right heel up towards the ceiling. If your hamstrings are tight on this right leg, you could have a big or little bend in the right knee. Gently pulling on the strap as you press that right heel up and sending your breath into the back of the right leg. And begin to bend the right knee and draw the right knee down towards your chest or towards that right armpit. And slowly re-extend the leg back up. A few more times. Nice and easy, bending the right knee, pulling it down towards chest or armpit, and then re-extending the leg back up. Your rhythm. And now let's take the hands on the strap and reach the arms up overhead. Gently pulling on the strap, getting a little bit higher up into hamstring fibers here. You could keep that left knee bent or begin to extend the left leg down the mat. And now walk your hands back up the strap. Right hand moves up towards the foot. You can take the ends of the strap into the left hand if you like, or take left hand to the left hip. Gently press down on the hip as you slowly open this right leg out to the right side to your degree. Keep rooting down through that left hip, left pelvis. And then slowly bring that right leg up through center. We'll take the left hand up the strap towards the foot and slowly bring that right leg over towards the left. Start by keeping the back of the pelvis down on the mat so that right leg may not go too far over towards the left. And then if you like, you can begin to take it into more of a twist, allowing that right bum, pelvic half to come up off of the mat and bringing that right leg over towards the left side. And again, to your degree. And then we'll slowly begin to bring that right leg back up. One more gentle pull on the strap and then bend that right knee. Bring the right foot down to the mat. Now let's loop the ball of your left foot. Same thing on this side. Extend that left leg up, pressing up through that heel. Big or little bend in the left knee if you need it. Few nice deep breaths. And then we'll bend the left knee, draw that knee down towards your chest or towards that left armpit, and then extend that leg up a couple times as you bend and straighten this left leg. And then extend the leg back up, and now Take the arms up overhead. And again, if you like, you could extend the right leg down the mat. And now we'll walk hands up the strap, left hand moving up the strap towards the foot, right hand grabs the ends of the strap or comes to rest on that right hip, and you slowly open this left leg out to the side to your degree, keeping that right bum, right pelvic half rooting down towards the mat. And then we'll slowly bring that left leg up. We'll switch hands on the strap. Right hand moves up the strap towards the foot. And then you take that left leg over towards the right side, starting by keeping the pelvis down on the mat. So you feel this through the outer left leg, maybe the IT band. And then if you like, begin to move it into that twist, lifting that left pelvic half up off of the mat and bringing that left leg over towards the right side. And then slowly you bring it back up to center. Another breath here. And then bend the left knee, remove the strap, push it off to the side for now. Draw knees into your chest. And then take it into a happy baby pose. So bend the knees. Pretend that you're planting your feet up on the ceiling. Reach your hands up for the feet. Inner edges, outer edges, the heels, or maybe the calves or the shins if that's more accessible for you. And gently pull down on whatever you've got a hold of. Now we'll take it into a half happy baby, keeping hold of the right foot or calf or shin. Release that left foot down to the mat. Maybe you take both hands to that right foot. Pull that right knee down towards that right armpit. As you do, you'll notice that left bum will pop up off the mat. That's okay. And then we'll press the left bum, left hip down towards the mat. Right knee will pop up a little. Then let's just toggle this from side to side. Right knee pulls down, left hip pops up, and then you press the left bum down. Right knee will pop up a little bit. Couple more. And then send that left foot back up to your happy baby. And we'll switch over to the other side. Half happy baby on the other side. Drop that right foot down to the mat now. Knee bent. And then we'll pull that left knee down. Right pelvis will pop up off the mat a little bit. And then press that right hip, right pelvis down. Left knee pops up a little bit. And then you take this side to side. And then let's send the right foot back up, coming into your happy baby pose. And now both legs up. Bring the inner edges of the feet together, inner legs together. Take your hands inside of the thighs and begin to open the legs wide. And flex the ankles. Breath or two here. And then legs come back up. Bend your knees. Rock and roll your way up to seated, or find your way up any which way that works. And then we'll cross shins, come over to sit into Vajrasana, sitting up on the heels. Take your fingers, interlace fingers behind you, elbows bent, backs of the hands pressing into the low back. Circle the shoulders up, back, and down. Opening across the chest. And then maybe if it is available, you can bring the arms a little bit straighter, but keep some softness to the elbows so you're not locking out the elbows. Maybe begin to pull the hands away from the low back. And then we'll begin to fold forward, bring the belly to the thighs. Hands can either stay at the sacrum, or you begin to pull the hands up off of the back and reach the arms up overhead. And again, to your degree, no force. And then slowly bring yourself all the way back up. Release your hands. And now cactus the arms. Bend the elbows. Pull the fingers and the elbows back, back of the skull back. Belly drawing in and up. Gentle lift through the heart. And then let's take it into a table position. Rock your hips from side to side in your table. And then bring yourself back to your table. Let's extend that right leg back behind, hip level-ish. Bend that right knee, draw it in towards nose, chest, forehead. Step a right foot through to that right thumb. And then we'll begin to rock ourselves back and forth. So fingers down to the mat. You could grab some blocks here. And we'll pull the right hip back, rolling up onto that right heel, half Hanuman. Just rocking it back and forth, coming through this low lunge, and then rolling it back into this half Hanuman. And then coming back into this low lunge, pressing down into the feet, reaching arms up. Hands come down. Now we'll take the right hand underneath that right foot and around to the outside of that right foot. So you're tucking that right upper arm or shoulder underneath this right leg. And then just a few little pulses back and forth here, working within your range of motion. And then we'll bring that right hand back inside that right foot, and now step yourself back into your table. Send that left leg back, hip level-ish, bend that left knee, draw it in towards the chest, and step or carry that foot up top of your mat. Knee over the ankle, and then let's gently pulse ourselves back and forth from this low lunge position, bringing the hips back, rolling up onto that left heel, finding this half splits or half Hanuman pose, and then again we take it forward, low lunge, pulsing it back and forth. And then we'll take it forward, and now take the left arm inside that left leg, hand underneath that left leg, and bring it back around to the outside of the left foot. So again, this upper arm, shoulder, sort of tucking underneath this left leg. And then from here, we'll gently pulse it back and forth. And then bring yourself back up. Left hand comes back inside. We step it back into our table. Let's tuck the toes under and glide your hips up into downward dog, pressing down through the hands and fingers, lifting up through forearms and armpits, rooting down through the heels, keeping a bend in the knees here, beginning to find some movement, pedaling out your legs, bending, straightening your knees, rocking yourself back and forth or side to side, or whatever feels right in your body. And then we'll bend the knees, crouch down, tiger dog, glide your hips up into downward dog. Again, bend your knees and crouch down. This time as you glide your hips up to downward dog, send the right leg up for a three-legged dog. Now let's bend that right knee, roll it up towards the ceiling, opening through that right hip. Re-extend that right leg and release that foot down to the mat. Crouch yourself down and then send left leg up. Bend that left knee, roll that knee up towards the ceiling, pressing down into the hands, lifting up through the armpits, and then re-extend that left leg, release it down to the mat. Crouch yourself down, send the right leg up, bend that right knee, open that hip, and then re-extend that right leg. Now we'll take it forward, right knee moving in towards the chest, core plank. Send the right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Let's bring it forward again. Right knee this time moves towards that right arm, and left foot moving, right foot moving over towards the left side of your mat. And then begin to lower your pinky toe side of right foot down, right knee down towards the mat, little pigeon flirt. And then we'll pick the leg up, send it up and back. Release that foot down to the mat. Crouch yourself down, left leg up. Bend the knee, open up through that hip. Re-extend that leg. Bend the knee, come forward into your core plank, knee to chest, and then send the leg up and back again. This time we'll take it forward, bending that left knee. This time bringing that left knee over towards left arm. Left foot comes over towards the right side of the mat, somewhere in between that right wrist, right hip. Begin to lower the pinky toe side of left foot down, left knee down towards the mat to hover, and then pick it up. Send that leg up and back. Release that foot down to the mat. Walk yourself up top of your mat. Let's take it into a forward fold. Interlace fingers at your low back. Shake out your head, rock your hips. And then bring yourself to center. Keeping hands at the low back, or you can begin to peel the arms off of the back, arms up overhead. And then hands come back down to the low back, soften the knees, release the hands and come all the way up to stand. Let's bring the palms together at the heart. And then cactus the arms, open the arms out to the sides. Palms come back together at the heart, reach up. And soften your knees, fold yourself back in. Halfway lift to that flat back. Plant your hands and step yourself back to plank. Drop your knees down to the mat, lower yourself down, pubic bone, belly, torso, all the way down. And then lift your heart for baby cobra. Release yourself down, tuck your toes, and then press yourself up and back into your downward dog. Bend the knees, crouch down, right leg up, three-legged dog, and then point that knee up towards the hip. Up towards the ceiling as you open the hip. Then re-extend the right leg. We'll bend the right knee, take it forward, core plank. Step right foot through to right thumb. Turn and drop that left foot. Soften both knees, press into the earth, lift up, open, warrior two. Bending that right knee, pressing it over towards the pinky toe side of the foot. Shoulders lining up over the hips. Pelvis and shoulders facing long into the mat. Arms reach wide. Let's take it over into a side angle. Right forearm to that right thigh. Left arm up and over the ear. Pressing down into the feet. Zipping up through the inner legs. And then left hand to that left hip. Right hand to the shin or the thigh. Begin to pull the hips back, straighten that right leg, coming into a triangle pose. Right hand can stay on the thigh or the shin. If it's available to you, you could bring the hand down to the mat or block. Left hand can stay on the hip or you reach the arm up. And stay here, we'll take a half bind, bend that left elbow, and bring that left hand around to that right upper thigh. And spin the heart up. And then release that left hand, reach that arm up. Soften that right knee, press into that right leg and lift yourself up. And let's take it back into warrior two. And then hands come down to the mat, step it back to plank. Drop knees, lower down to the belly. Lift up for baby cobra, or maybe if you feel ready for your full cobra. Release down, tuck toes. Glide the hips up and back to down dog. Crouch down, send that left leg up. Bend that knee, point it up to the ceiling, open that hip, and then re-extend that leg. Bend that knee, come forward into your core plank. Step left foot through. Turn and drop that right foot. Bend both knees, press into the earth. Lift yourself up and open towards long edge of the mat. Warrior two. Arms reach wide. And then we'll take left forearm to that left thigh, coming into our side angle pose. Right arm reaches up over the ear. Right hand to that right hip, left hand to that left shin or thigh. Begin to straighten that left leg. Nice long side body. And then maybe right hand stays on the hip or you reach the arm up. Or we'll do a half bind, bend that right elbow. Bring that hand back around behind you to rest on that left inner thigh. Heart rolls up towards the ceiling. You shift your gaze wherever it feels okay for your neck. And then release the bind if you have it. Right hand comes back down to the hips, soften that left knee, lift up back into your warrior two. Hands come down to the mat, step yourself back to plank. Drop knees, lower all the way down. And then find your cobra. Release it down, tuck toes. Glide hips up and back. Step or hop it up. Top of your mat, fold it in. Halfway lift up to a flat back. Soften the knees, fold it in, and then press into the earth. Come all the way up, palms together overhead. Hands come down to your heart. Arms reach up. Fold it in. Halfway lift. Plant the hands, step yourself back to plank. Either lower knees, find your cobra, or move it into chaturanga, low push-up, and then upward dog. Rolling forward on your toes for your chaturanga, bend your elbows, lower about halfway down. And then come on to tops of the feet, thighs lifted, heart pulls forward, upward dog. We'll meet back in our downward dog. Bend the knees, crouch it down, left leg up. Bend that left knee, take it forward, core plank. Step left foot through. Turn and drop that right foot. Soften both knees, press into the earth, lift up and open it into your warrior two. We'll take it over into side angle again. Left forearm to the left thigh, right arm up over the ear. If it's available to you, you could take that left hand inside or outside of that left foot, down to the mat or to a block. Right hand comes back to that right hip, left hand to the knee, the thigh, the shin. Press into that left leg, straighten that left leg, pull that hip back. Finding triangle pose, right hand stays where it is, or reach arm up. Or take that half bind again, right hand reaching over towards that left thigh. And then release your bind. Right arm comes back up, and then back down to the hips. Soften the left knee, press into the feet, lift up, open back into warrior two. Hands down to the mat, step yourself back to plank. And find your vinyasa, where you meet us in downward dog. Crouch yourself down, right leg up. Bend the right knee, shift forward, step right foot through, turn, drop that left foot. Soften the knees, root into the earth and open it up, warrior two. Take it over into side angle, right forearm to that right thigh, left arm up over the ear. Again, if you like, could bring right hand down inside or outside of the foot or to a block. Left hand to the hip, right hand to that shin or thigh. Begin to straighten that right leg. Side body nice and long, both sides. Left arm reaching up. Or you take the bind, bend that left elbow. Tuck that hand in, right upper thigh. And then release the bind, left hand comes back up. Soften that left knee, press into the earth, lift up, open back, warrior two. And then hands come down to the mat. Step yourself back again to your plank, find your flow. Step or hop it up, top of your mat, fold it in. Halfway lift, and then fold yourself in. Press into the earth, rise up, palms together overhead, hands back to heart. Reach up, fold in. Halfway up to that flat back. Plant your hands, step yourself back to plank. Find your flow. Crouch yourself down. Right leg up, three-legged dog. Bend that knee, shift it forward. Core plank, step right foot through. Turn, drop that left foot. Bend the knees, lift up and open it. Warrior two again. Take it into a side angle. Your variation. And then take it into our triangle. Left hand to that left hip, right hand to the shin or thigh. Straighten that right leg. Folding from that right hip. Side body long. Left arm reaches up. You can take that half bind again. If it's available to you, you can begin to take a full bind, reaching that right arm underneath that right leg. You can bend the knee to make that happen. Maybe you grab hands, or you could use your strap here to bring the hands together. Chest open. And then release your bind if you've got it. Left hand to that left hip. Press into that right foot. Lift yourself up. Let's open it back up into our warrior two. And then hands come back to the mat. Step yourself back to plank. Move through your flow. Crouch down, send left leg up. Bend the knee, shift forward, step that left foot through, turn and drop that right foot. Both knees bent as you root into the earth and rise up. Open yourself, warrior two. And then side angle. And from here, let's take it into our triangle. Right hand to that right hip, straighten that left leg. Roll the heart open, right arm reaches up. Maybe you take the half bind. Maybe you choose to go through the full bind. If it's available, bring that left arm underneath that left leg. Bend that left knee to make it happen. Maybe you grab hands or use your strap here. And begin to straighten that left leg again. Pull the hips back. Spin the heart up. And soften that left knee, release the bind. Let's take right hand to that right hip, bend that left knee, lift yourself up, open it back. Warrior two. Hands down to the mat, step it back. Move through your flow. From your downward dog, walk your hands back to meet your feet. Shake it out, nod the head, rock the hips. Soften the knees, hands to the hips, lift yourself all the way up. Grab your strap. We'll soften both knees. Take your strap loop ball of your right foot. Begin to root into that left foot. Draw that right knee up towards your chest. Stay here with the right knee bent, or begin to extend the right leg out in front of you. Gently pulling on the strap, lifting up through the quads, pressing out through that right heel. You can stay here or begin to open that right leg out to the side. Maybe you open that left arm out to the side as a counterbalance. Slowly you bring that right foot back to center. Bend the knee, remove the strap. Let's take it over to the other side. Loop ball of your left foot. Root down into that right foot. Begin to draw that left knee up towards your chest. Stay here or extend out through that left leg. Keep that left hip pulling back, femur pulling back into the socket. Stay here, or you begin to open that left leg out to the left side. And again, maybe right arm out to the right side as a counterbalance. And then bring that left leg back to center. Bend the knee, remove your strap. Take the feet about hip width, soften your knees a couple times. Just begin to sway yourself from side to side. Let the arms sway with you, gently tapping you as you go. And then bring yourself back to center. Back to back of the mat, arms reach up, fold it in. Halfway lift, bend the knees, walk the hands forward, coming back into downward dog. Lower knees down, come back to sit on our heels, Vajrasana. Let's take the hands around behind, interlace fingers again, elbows bent. Maybe you begin to pull the hands back away from the sacrum if that feels okay. Finding the widening across the collarbones. And then slowly folding forward, bringing belly to thighs, forehead back down to the mat. Arms either stay at the low back or reach up overhead. And then slowly bring it back up. Release hands, drop over to one hip. And then find your way back down onto your back to where we started. Let's take soles of the feet together, knees wide, back into our butterfly or Supta Baddha Konasana. Again, you could cactus arms or find whatever arm position feels comfortable for you right now. Close your eyes again. Check in with your breath. Notice how you feel. Smile. Come back to our intention to be gentle, kind, patient, loving, compassionate with ourselves. And then again, bring the knees up, knees together, feet wide to the outer edges of the mat as you let the knees again knock in and rest against each other. And then pick the knees up, walk the feet in, about hip width, roll yourself over to one side. And then press yourself up. And bring yourself back into a comfortable seat, palms together at the heart. Thank you so much for sharing this practice with me today. May you feel safe. May you be healthy. May you be happy. May you live with ease. May your heart be open to love, compassion, and may you know joy. Thank you so much. With love and gratitude. Gratitude. Namaste.